Attention, citizens. It's time for Super Pulp Science.
This is Super Pulp Science, where we talk about how genre gets made. We are here from our collective bunkers with Justin Curry, also known as Chasing Artwork, Dan Vadeboncoeur, our trusty audio engineer and producer, and myself, GMB Kamichuk. We are all in self-isolation, recording this podcast through various means. So, as we figure out how our audio is going to work, please indulge us in encouraging us, because we don't know yet what we're doing.
If there's anything the last few weeks have shown us, is that poor audio is no barrier to putting content out. I mean that in a good way. I mean, we had a video, I think it was a video message from our Prime Minister yesterday.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
It was just a regular webcam kind of video from his house, because he's like Stephen Colbert did a monologue from his bathtub last week. Like, it's just, people are doing what they can. They're doing what they can to continue putting out content in this situation. So it's not a big deal. Interesting
news update for those people who are listening who are comic book makers. Diamond Comics Distributor, basically the monopoly holder on comics distribution worldwide, announced yesterday they are no longer accepting new product from many publishers, essentially closing down comics distribution for the length of this crisis. That means that no comics to new comic stores, so any of the stores that are relying on those things to stay afloat, don't get them.
Yeah, I saw a post from Comics Factory yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah.
When he said he was going to get a shipment in today, I think, and that was going to be it.
That'll be the last one
for the next foreseeable future. That's pretty much the whole world is pretty much shutting down at this point.
That's
what
right.
We're dealing with.
No, but if I'm I'm a former comic store owner, and I happen to know that you've got a lot of stock in your shop's comic stores, like a lot of stock. You can maybe start selling those back issues to people who are looking for new things to read without having to get an influx of new stock. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. I'm in my library bunker right now, and I have thousands of books I can read.
How do we do this by also social distancing? How does that work?
Well, one of the shops I follow online, 4Color Comics, something like that, is, and I just follow them because they have interesting video content. They're like in a state in America somewhere. They do curbside pickup now, so you call ahead. They package the books with like gloves on. They accept only tap from the car and pass you the comics through the window.
Well, there you go. Okay, so that's good for the people who have like their regular pickups, their regular issues they pick up. But what about somebody who wants to get something new and wants to browse?
Well, you're just going to have to put your personal preferences aside as the world tumbles into crisis.
How about appointment shopping?
I don't know if they're doing that. No, I think that's too big of a risk, frankly.
Is it? Okay. Because I've gone to the grocery store and it's pretty normal, except people are like keeping way away from each other. Like you actually kind of walk away.
As well you should.
Yeah, and that's
all the
kind
checkout
of the
lines have those social distancing lines. I thought those were pretty
tape. They have tape that kind of shows people where to line up, like how far away to stand from each other. And so all the retailers that are still open are doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know that there would be anything wrong if you say, okay, if you want to come and look at my comics, you can come in here for 15 minutes at this time and look around a bit, and then buy some stuff and leave, and then another person comes in, like have them come in one at a time. That might be okay.
Imagine though that you have an employee running that store while you're away. A lot of comic stores are owned by people off site.
Yeah.
It's not economically viable to do one at a time shoppers.
And I mean, maybe we just try and shift it to online sales or something at this point.
Best you can, but there's a lot of talk of those shippers also closing down.
Yeah. How long do you guys think this is going to go on for? Honestly.
We got a
September.
Yeah, I think. I honestly think could be as long as September.
September? No, please no.
Yeah.
Ideally, like in a perfect scenario, I'd love to be kind of the world to go back to normal by July. But yeah, probably like Trump says, the summer, the heat will kill this, right? And then we can all go back to.
No, don't.
No, I really don't think it is. I said that in jest. I don't believe a single thing that man says.
Someone's shipping you a red hat right now.
Good God, don't do that.
It's tough. I mean, it's only been like a week and a bit, and I'm already kind of feeling, cabin. And I go out. Like I still go out every once in a while, and I'm still feeling cabin fever. I'm still getting anxious.
See, our my wife and I, Tara and I were talking, and basically just saying like what we have to do is set our minds for like a 4-month isolation, so that anything that's better than that is like hooray. Instead of setting it for like 3 weeks at a time, that's just going to make you worse and worse and worse. Right. It's like pushing back Christmas every 3 weeks and then being disappointed that Santa didn't show up.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? Better to say like, oh, Christmas isn't for 4 months, and then you just start waiting. I don't know how this turned into a Christmas analogy, but I know how, because automatic age refers to the last Christmas, capital L, capital C, as when the robots kill us all. So that's why. Is
that what happens? Oh, okay. No. Yeah. So is that this Christmas coming up then?
I guess it is. Oh, shit.
It is altogether evil. It will corrupt and destroy anyone who wears it until he passes into the world of shadows.
What's going on with automatic age?
So, yeah. Okay, so here's some practical things that are going on. So the publisher, of course, we were supposed to have a book launch on the 15th, canceled. I get books delivered to
McNally Robinson.
That's right.
7 o'clock.
And they're amazing, but they can't have anyone in the store. My books, the copies of the print run that I got, arrive at my house rather than the studio on the 9th. And then the publisher and I were talking actually just this morning about ways in which we can do some online promotion, maybe do some readings, maybe do some podcast interviews, just as much stuff as we can do to just get the word out. But one of the ideas that I had was, since I'm going to have copies that I can draw in and send out, I guess I'll have to wear plastic while I do that, is to do a buy one, send one promotion. So if you buy a copy of the book, I'll also send a copy of that book to somebody else who doesn't have one.
Oh.
Cool.
Just because the economics of those copies being at my house means there's no distributor in the middle and there's no bookstore in the middle. So it'll be worthwhile to send 2 books out while only charging people for one, at least for the short term. I was thinking of doing 100 like that.
Neat.
As just sort of a fun promotion. Like people are all, like you said, Dan, cabin fever and stuck in their houses. I'm going to look up some proper protocols for what to do for packing, but I'll literally wear a mask and wear gloves and do all that stuff. It's weird, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
And like I live in a very busy part of Winnipeg, and I can see from my 3rd floor right now, I can see Confusion Corner essentially, and it is empty.
Really?
There's like 10% of the cars that are normally at this time of the day.
Oh wow. That's for those of you who aren't from Winnipeg. It's a very, very busy intersection. This, especially in the afternoon. We're recording this in the afternoon. Oh, there's an alarm. And there's a notification.
Yeah. So while we're recording this, also all my notifications are going to come through.
No, but the I like the alarm because that's like an authentic Super Pulp Science thing that happens every time we record in the studio. There's always some sirens going by.
Yeah. It's been wild.
I think that's on my end. Yeah.
Okay.
3 audios for you to sort, Dan. The other thing that's going on with the book launch is that I'm just not stressing about it. Like, this is not something I can control.
Yeah.
So being like, no, my book launch is kind of like, what's the point? Everyone lost their job at the bookstore. I think that's more important.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be worse, right? There's always some way that it could be worse. And I think everybody's kind of feeling like, even in the way we're dealing with our classes at the college and kind of rolling out the rest of our assignments, we're like, you know what, we're going to figure it out. It's not a big deal. Let's just figure out a way to get through this semester and try and learn as much as we can in that time period. But we're going to lose some stuff along the way. You can't deliver the classes in the same way as we can in person.
True, yeah.
I've done a couple of online classes so far. They've gone pretty well. It's kind of a novelty for everybody to see. I feel like kind of like the Brady Bunch when you get all the windows going and you get all the webcams and stuff. So everyone's kind of having fun with that. So right now the spirits are high, but we'll see how it goes.
One of the things I was going to say is for those people who are feeling like they don't know what to do with their time, or like what's the point if publishing is in such a state, a reminder that publishing is the byproduct of writing, and that you can write for yourself. Like, I've been sticking to a modest but important writing schedule for the follow-up to Automatic Age called The Backbone of Night. And when I say modest, I mean like super modest. Like, I set a 250 word goal every day, but I've managed to do that for every day for the last 13 days. So it's adding up to a pretty nice looking frame of a story. And how do
you stop after 250 words?
What's that? Well, I often don't. So I often end up doing, between 500 and 1,000 maybe. But if I only have a quick second between my kid's math lesson and like some crisis in the home, it's, I can mark my little box of accomplishment. I made myself a scrum board for the house. I have the Backbone of Night up on there, 200 words, so it's like every day I can get a little bit. I have all kinds of other projects I'm supposed to be working on, which I have been doing. Eye Collector, Giacomo's Lexicon Mind, like music project I've been working on. I got this COVID comics thing cooking, working on Good Boys, The Meat, and Arena City. So, I have no shortage of things to do. I just have a shortage of time to do it. Well, maybe not, depending on how long this lasts.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's your art? You've been okay. Dear listener, what you don't know is that Justin and I, we share a nice studio space, which I have not been to in weeks now. But
it's so clean right now.
Yeah, Justin's been sending me updates of this like Zen Master studio, which just gets more and more clean and orderly, and the like hardwoods are all polished. And today he sent me a picture that he'd hung a heavy bag up in the middle of the studio. So he's about to go full recluse, I think, and he may just
yeah. Well, my part of my normal schedule is coming to the studio, working, and then going across the street to the boxing gym. And I've been getting into boxing in a pretty big way over the last couple months or year. And now, of course, every gym in the city is closed, because what better way to spread germs than sweating and spraying your spit everywhere.
Yeah, spit.
So, yeah. Pan Am was good enough. Actually, I've seen quite a few gyms have started doing this. They've offered their members, like, your membership goes on hold, of course, and then you can rent out equipment essentially until the world goes back to normal. So you had the options of coming to the gym and grabbing a heavy bag or a bike or a rower or some other equipment.
Whoa, they just lent all that stuff out to people?
Sorry?
Did you say lent or rent?
Rent.
Okay.
You have to have a membership. You can't just go and grab one. They have to know who you are. But we're lucky enough at the studio. We're in a big old building with huge, heavy beams. And so I think I was like one of 3 people out of 100 that could actually facilitate hanging a heavy bag somewhere. So I have this big 100-pound old leather heavy bag in the studio. So I get to keep boxing while being quarantined. And I'm pretty excited about it. Because...
So you punching it?
Yeah, running's boring. That was me punching it, yeah.
How's the art going? I haven't noticed you posting new art in a while, except your automated stuff.
What have I been doing? I'm working on a new original piece right now, which I'm pretty excited about. I posted it, a work in progress, in my Instagram story. But man, have I been busy crossing things off the list that, like the tedious business list that every artist has, like set up the online store, schedule Instagram and Facebook posts, update this, update that, fill out that form, set up this account. All those things have been getting done on my end. It's kind of like when you're in regular like work mode and you think, oh man, if I had a bunch of free time, I would do all these things. I'm getting to do all those things now, and I'm actually getting them done. So it's kind of reassuring to know that list of things to do, if I ever had a lot of free time, I'm actually getting to that list and getting them done. So lots of side business projects getting completed right now.
Well, that's awesome. For me, yeah, I'm into that zone because I have so much that I have to do and so many things to juggle on the family front here. I am, of course, coming up with new things that I wish I was doing. That part of my brain is kicked in, like from a busy show. Like if we're at a convention and you're just too busy to do anything else, you of course start brainstorming another thing. So I started making lists of all of those things. So one of the things I stole from Dr. Jonathan Ball and Writing the Wrong Way podcast is this focus form, that anytime that you have an idea that will take you off the task you're doing, rather than stress about it, you just write it down and make it into essentially a list of things that you're going to get to when you're done.
Right.
And that's been really helpful for me because I have, all these different people who, frankly, it's a miracle. They're all still wanting those projects to be finished. They're not too worried about the, deadline apocalypse that everyone else is going through right now. And so I have a whole bunch of, I have at least a month and a half of paid illustration work, which really translates into about 3 months of living. So we're plus whatever we got in the bank. We can weather this storm at least till September if I have to.
Gandalf, beyond all hope. Gandalf. Yes, that was my name.
I'm back on Starlight already.
Yeah, you'll be back on that, right?
I am already. Contracts are signed, and I've started working on stretch goal, more player ships, more enemy ships, more battle scenes. So that's also been the last day or two, has been back on board with the Starlight guys.
So if someone is
good as well.
If someone is listening to us and kind of pissed off at us because we have all this stuff lined up, I think that's a fair assessment to be annoyed. But you can start doing some of that now, right? And not in an enormous way, or not like, you just do your have-tos. And the same way that we've always said, take 10 or 20% of your time and do some of those want-tos. Work on that manuscript, work on that stuff. Imagine that society will survive and that the human race will be there and they're going to need things and want things. And that if you want to try and make a job of this, it's been postponed maybe 12 months, right? It's not the end of the world. Well, I guess it is for some people, and it's tragic. And who knows what we'll be saying next week when all the news is out. But, I've got friends in New York City that have, I was texting with yesterday, who have some pretty grim accounts of what's going on over there. So I consider myself pretty lucky the way things are right now. One thing that's been interesting for me is the way that my kids are over my shoulder a lot more through this whole working process. And I found myself explaining my own workflow to my children in a way that up until now hasn't really been interesting to them, because they're working from home now too. Right? So they get a bunch of assignments from their teachers, and they get stuff that we have, sort of laid out for them. And so they're trying to figure out what their own workflow is, their self-directed workflow. So seeing my wife and I, who have been doing this for years now, kind of get down to it. It's an interesting thing, because my youngest son is like, oh, well, is this all the stuff you want to do? I'm like, no, this is my list of things I don't want to do. I'm doing it first.
Because I guess that's true. Like when you have to do homework, your parents never really did, like they'd help you, but they didn't have anything to do at that time. It was, you had to work. Your parents kind of watched you work.
Yeah,
now you're in the situation where you all have to get some work done.
That's exactly right.
Not just the kids getting theirs. That's neat.
Yeah, it's wild. How about you, Dan?
I've been doing pretty well. Again, I have the kids for part of the time, and they are. I think actually, I have to give a shout out to the teachers at my kids' schools who actually did a really good job putting together packages for all the kids, and you can tell they really care about this. Like, it's got to be tough to be a teacher, and maybe Greg, you can speak to that, having been a teacher, how this is probably impacting them. But yeah, it's just a matter of they've even kind of set out a routine for us to follow and that kind of stuff. So it's been okay. It's been we're just trying to get into the new routine of it. You guys are actually were good being proactive about it and starting it last week, because I didn't start doing it till yesterday. But it's been okay.
Well, again, we had that, it was just, we live that lifestyle anyway of being home. So when the call came out, that was like, if you can't stay home, you should start already. We just said, okay, well, we will then.
Can I admit something out loud that
you're naked?
I kind of not. I'm not wearing pants. That's one thing. No, I'm fully clothed. But just the way I work and what's going on with this. Like, this is kind of great for a freelance illustrator in a certain way. Not having any trips to go on, not having really like the deadlines of conventions have suddenly been for me for like a couple months, and I can really get into my next book project and do a couple things. I'm kind of excited about like the situation, but that probably just also, I realized that's week 1.5 me talking. Talk to me again in a month.
You and I can,
and I might not be so.
You and I can spend a month with our heads buried in our work, no problem though. So that's absolutely true.
And I think it's worth recognizing that I get to enjoy this a little bit. A lot of people can't, right? It's really horrible for a lot of people, and I feel quite bad for quite a few friends that are in not so great situations. But selfishly, this is kind of great for a little bit for me. I don't know. I just wanted to kind of like voice that it's not all bad for
you need to unburden yourself,
to be holed up and get things done.
I think we can all see the positives in all this stuff. Like, it's offering me more opportunity to spend time with my kids, which is great. I'm doing a hell of a lot of podcasting right now. I do this with you guys. I've got my other ones with my friend Kenton, my media nerds and Star Wars nerds, and I just started doing that other one that we were talking about in a previous episode. The video game podcast.
Oh, you started that.
We recorded our first episode, and we're working on that as well. So I can't talk about it. Yeah, I can't tell you about it. It's not live yet, but when it's live, I'll let you know. But that was a lot of fun. So I'm getting a lot of that stuff done. I've also issued a challenge to myself, a new movie challenge, because I'm really hoping this will all be wrapped up before my birthday on April 28th, which is a month and a half away, or just over a month away, I guess. I'm being optimistic about it. So more than a month from now, hopefully everything will be normal. But to do that, I'm watching a movie for every year of my life until my birthday. So that means I was born in 1976, so I'm watching 1976, 1977, like a movie produced in every year of my life. And it has to be a movie I haven't seen before. So I've started doing that and posting about it on Instagram, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Have you seen The Return of Swamp Thing?
What year was that? One? I've seen one of those. I have to... Is that the older ones, right?
I feel like the original was like late. Yeah, like I want to say like 93, 94. Yeah, there's the original Swamp Thing, which I think was like late 80s, early 90s. And then 82. The Return of the Swamp Thing, I just watched it yesterday. Oh, that's the original.
Yeah.
The Return was like the quintessential 90s action movie with like henchmen and armed monsters. It's just so terrible. It's amazing. As a kid, I loved it. As an adult, I realize all the horrible things that are wrong with it, but I think it's overshadowed by the nostalgia. I have such fond memories. Everything that's wrong with it, I can't fault it for that, because it just was so great as a kid watching.
It's got a Heather Locklear in it.
Yes, it does.
I have a very
terrible actress.
No, she's very famous once. I have a vague memory. It's either this one or the first one I've seen. I can't remember which one. I'm gonna have to watch a little bit of it to see. I'm trying to really keep it like the ones I haven't seen, even though I don't really remember. But I know I've seen at least one of these Swamp Thing movies in the past. I'll have to double check, but I'll watch it when we get to that year. I'm only on 1979 right now, awesome. So I'll tell you when I get to that part.
And you're only watching movies you haven't seen.
Yeah. And a lot of it is dictated by what's available, because I can't go out and buy movies, or I rent movies on demand. But if I can possibly get it on Amazon or one of I think I subscribe to 4 streaming services. I'm trying to get it on one of those. So I'll go through the list. I'll look it up, what movies are released, and I'll just kind of go and see what's available and choose based on that. Last night I watched Piranha because I'd never seen it before, and it was a 1978 movie, and that was pretty much all I could find that was available. So that's what I watched, and it was fine.
Have you seen Hard Boiled?
Yes, I've seen Hard Boiled.
Oh, that's
yes.
too bad. I wanted to get your first watch opinions of that.
What's that?
I wanted your first watch opinion of that movie.
I've seen again. What I'm also learning is that I've seen a lot of movies from the 70s. I didn't realize how many films I've already seen. I used to work at a video store, so I guess I must have really just gone through all that stuff. The 70s was an excellent decade for film.
Come back. Come back. Go back. The ring. The ring.
I have an idea. Because we have lamented about the way things are now for almost 2 podcasts.
Right.
I think we should go back into what we like to do best, which is make shit up. We're going to do a half hour of story breaking. Let's make up a story. Right? If it takes us through what's going on now, then fine. But otherwise, let's pick a genre to start with. Horror, fantasy, science fiction. The first one to answer sets it in stone.
So I think actually, Greg, you usually ask these questions, and then
that's true. I do.
You don't get to do the meats and potatoes of what's going on. So let's pretend I just asked that question, and it's up to you and Dan.
Okay, Dan.
I want to do fantasy because we haven't done that yet.
Okay, fantasy. I'm in.
Because we've done lots of sci-fi and horror. I think you guys, the other ones we've done have been both those categories.
That's not my fault, as we have just established on the podcast.
No, I know, but try to diversify a bit. It's tough. I think a fantasy might be a little more difficult to do, but
I am shout out to
okay, Greg,
shout out to Kristen Sigarelli. I'm listening to the audiobook of The Last Namsara right now. Speaking of fantasy, so I feel like I'm ready for this.
All right.
Okay, what do we need to know?
When does it take? Is this a fictional world or is it the real world?
Fictional, for sure. Fictional.
Okay.
Is it high fantasy?
Magic and Dragons?
Yeah. Is it high fantasy or low fantasy or humble fantasy?
What's humble fantasy?
Humble fantasy is like there might be a magic item that people have heard of, but no one has probably ever seen it. Whereas high fantasy is that when someone draws out a magic sword, everyone goes, "Oh my god, a magic sword!" Right?
So humble fantasy kind of hints at magic and doesn't show it right away?
That's right. There's more mystery. It's more rare.
Like the first season of Game of Thrones.
Would you kind of put Lord of the Rings in that category as well? Like magic is pretty rare in that world?
So a way you could think about it is that The Hobbit starts as a humble fantasy, right? Bilbo is magical but doesn't really know it. Right? He's a magical creature, but he's just a hobbit. And he goes on an adventure and sees all kinds of things in the world he didn't know existed, but he had only heard of. Right? So that's more humble. It's less humble, maybe, than is typical. But yeah, would you rather it be more like The Hobbit or more like a D&D adventure, Dan?
Sorry, guys. I was at the time to my kids. I don't know. I'm up in the air. I feel like I have a better handle on a humble.
Humble it is.
Let's just start off in a kind of a. I guess it's more like of a medieval setting than anything else, right? So we don't have a lot of technology, or we could have technology as well, but maybe we shouldn't.
I think you already said it. So it's humble. It's a medieval setting. So let's say like the 14th century. 13th, 14th century.
Oh, good.
Level.
Yes, I'm actually familiar right now. I've done a lot of. Speaking of plagues, I just listened to a podcast about the Black Death, and it was very interesting, and I learned a lot about that time period.
All right, now did we get that right? Historians will correct us, but whether or not that counts as the medieval era,
1300s, 14th century was the plague. 1300s, 1347.
Third of Europe died.
Yeah.
You just can't escape it, eh, guys? You don't want to escape.
What if it was coronavirus instead of?
You guys.
Sorry.
All right. So the Middle Ages apparently goes from the year 476 AD to 1453. So if we call it, so somewhere in there, whatever you're imagining. So we've got chainmail, we've got people with swords, we've got robber barons, we've got a feudal society. It's humble fantasy. Why don't we start with
let's do something with a MacGuffin. Let's take a regular everyday hero and introduce, he stumbles upon something that sets him off on an adventure.
Yeah, perfect. So who is that person?
Isn't it?
Let's make them really humble. Like, what is
a serf?
Yeah, like a serf, a woodcutter. I mean, a classic. Of course, all the stories start with a woodcutter.
Maybe not as
actually, I like that. Yeah, let's do woodcutter.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe something along those same lines. Like somebody who's got a trade, not somebody who's like so poor they're like a slave. But serfs are basically slaves. So someone like
what about a blacksmith?
Blacksmith. I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Maybe he finds some special kind of metal.
Yeah.
That has some magical properties that was thought lost or nobody knows about, and
it just gets delivered with his regular shipment of. I don't know how they would get their metal, but I assume that somebody would mine it and deliver it to them, right? Is that not how they did that?
Yeah, it would, or get delivered.
Yeah, so something that just came in as regular delivery of iron.
Okay, I have an idea.
Unusual.
I don't know how. So this is one of those things you'd have to like research, but that's second draft shit. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So, however the metal arrives. He has his regular shipment, and some ingot or like bar of this metal is in with his regular shipment, and there's a blood stain on it.
Okay.
Right? Hinting at some nefarious, like someone hid it there, is what he thinks. Right? But being of metallurgic bent, he can't help himself. He fires up the forge and tries to make something. So who has asked him to make something? Or would he do it just for fun?
Well, would we want it made into a sword?
A sword's pretty classic. I think you build up to that. But like, let's say, for example, that...
what about a commission for a really snooty lord up on the hill?
Yeah.
Okay, like, so snooty lord comes in, wants some goblet or something, and wants it made of silver.
Okay.
Right?
To save money, he uses this
other metal.
Silver
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right?
I still want to make it like come from outer space.
You want to make what?
I want to make it come from outer space.
It could definitely come from outer space.
Well, yeah, we'll work out that later.
He makes it out of this metal that is passable for silver, maybe because the snooty lord has poor eyesight and isn't really going to check anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe, here's the thing. At some point, he's weighing it to figure out the metal's properties, figure out what it is. It weighs the same. I mean, that's how you tell. That's why gold is used as a standard, right? Because you mix anything else with it and the weight changes for the volume. So maybe it's gold. Maybe it's something that he can swap for gold and keep the gold. That makes more sense. Right?
See, what I would like to see is that whatever this material is that has unusual properties, maybe they're magical, maybe they're not, but whatever he makes out of it gets imbued with these properties, and so then he decides to keep it for himself instead of giving it to the Lord.
Well, I love that. I like the idea that he'd steal it back.
Yeah.
Once he figures out what it does, like he uses. What if he used the bulk of it to make this big goblet, sends it off to the Lord, and then the little ingots he has left, he just melts in with something else? Like as a fill, and then like let's say he made a silver spoon after that, or a golden spoon, and mixed in some of the leftover, and then it had a different property, right? Like everything that he eats with that spoon, I don't know, he can't be poisoned, or like he can't, he gets well, or he sees something, has some weird hallucination. What kind of stuff?
Kind of like that. So like the goblet that he made is imbued with whatever property we end up deciding.
Yeah.
He makes some spoons and some forks, and they do the same thing.
A similar thing.
What can that be, though?
Yeah, I don't know what it could be, but whatever it is, it makes him want to go and steal the other thing back.
So you can melt it down and make more stuff with it.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing. Whoever hid it comes back.
Right. Yeah. They want they probably hid it to get it away from whoever was looking for it.
Right.
And they come back for it as well.
And they
have you
tell
guys
him,
ever seen the Teapot movie? I forget what it's called. I think it's just called The Teapot. And it's the
sounds like something you'd look up on a porn channel. I don't know what you're talking about.
So this couple finds this teapot in kind of a roadside like garage sale, and if you hurt yourself by this teapot, money comes out of the teapot. So they figure out like
sounds familiar.
If they cause pain around this teapot, it gives them money. So they start hurting themselves around the teapot, and it starts pouring out money. But the thing is, the teapot has a tolerance, so the more it gives them money, they have to hurt themselves more and more to get like the same amount of money that stubbing their toe used to get. Like the teapot almost gets a tolerance to them, so they have to hurt themselves more and more and more, and so it becomes this like it seems like it's a gift, but really it's a curse. Because
I love that.
By the end, they're really hurting themselves just to get a couple bucks.
It is time for us to choose. A new age is upon us. A new power is rising. Nothing that men or elves or wizards can do will avail against it. Its enemies are utterly doomed.
They make this spoon, right? And he uses the spoon. He eats something out of the spoon. He's just testing it. You know, he wants to, the blacksmith wants to live like a lord for a day. You know, he sets out the goblet and the spoons and the things he's made, and he eats with the spoon. When the Lord eats with the same spoon, he knows something that was on the mind of the blacksmith. And so the more people use the objects, the more you know about them. It's like a way of like transferring knowledge or ideas, or right, which thematically in a culture related to the apprenticeship, that could be cool.
He loses his blacksmithing abilities into the item.
Oh, there you go, or something like that. So I'd like to see it the other way around, that the blacksmith learns something about the Lord. So maybe the Lord comes in and tests it and doesn't like it or something.
Yeah.
And then he tests it later, and then he learns something about the Lord, like where he's hiding all his money or something.
Dan, you're a genius.
Oh, good one.
The Lord checks in on him while he's working, picks up the spoon. I don't like this handle, right, once he slurps something, and your stew is gross, right, and leaves. Yeah. And then
leaves a bad taste.
Yeah. And
what if the metal is like semi-sentient? So like when he picks up the spoon, it pricks him, like it cuts him, and that's how it gets his essence or whatever, his knowledge. I don't know.
Or like you could feed it blood.
Like the metal likes the blacksmith, and so the blacksmith goes around like collecting people's.
Okay, I like your idea. Knowledge. So watch this. Take that idea. He drinks, he eats from the spoon, right? Then the blacksmith, using Dan's idea, eats from the same spoon, knows a secret about, but he doesn't know all of the secret. The blacksmith then makes a knife out of that information, or out of that metal, and goes in and kills the Lord with it. We could have some MacGuffin that causes this conflict. But when he kills the Lord, he's able to gain so much information and knowledge from the Lord, from the blood that's on the metal, that he can pass as that Lord. So like, right? In the next scene, or in the, so that it's like, it becomes this way, like you say, of feeding it the knowledge that you require in order to do something.
Right. And so then does he he pretends to be the lawyer? What's that sound?
He's hitting the, I hope that's him hitting the heavy bag.
It's
no.
So
keep it clean
then
here,
he pretends to be the Lord for a while and enjoys it.
What are you doing?
I'm not hearing anything. I don't know.
You're a monster. Okay, so the Lord, or whoever.
So he becomes the Lord. He starts to pretend to be him and living his life. But then he grows bored with that after a short time. Like it's not what he was really looking for, or something like that.
Or stop it.
So hit a ketchup bottle.
Listen,
this is a clean podcast, Justin.
I can tell. That's not on my end. I don't know what that is.
Listen,
Uh-oh, it's the Zoom people.
It tells me who's making the noise. Whoever's talking, the screen automatically shows me.
Oh, yeah, it does. It's true.
So I know it's you, Justin. So don't even. Zoom knows, too.
I'm tapping the table or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not doing it on purpose, I swear.
So a good conflict we need. Who brought the medal? Why did they hide it? Do they know about it? Do they have a bunch of it? You know, do they already have a sword made of it?
Yeah, I think actually that's the good that breaks him out of like, so he poses as the Lord, and then all of a sudden this guy shows up who was the one who originally hired. He's been trying to search for it this whole time. He's finally tracked it down.
The Lord comes over. The guy has made a knife, a spoon, and a fork or whatever. The Lord hates it, shits all over him. They get into an argument. He ends up killing the Lord with the knife, but gaining that knowledge, as we said, in some tussle. Decides he has to flee because he's now killed the Lord, but using the information that he has from the Lord, he grabs a bunch of the money and the hidden treasure and takes to the road. So now he's on the run. He's got some of this metal. He's already a blacksmith, so he has the ability to forge it into something else, should we get it.
I think he should be the blacksmith's apprentice. He's not the main blacksmith. He's like the young, lowly apprentice that's
probably make him a little more identifiable to the audience.
Yeah, better.
The shit work, yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
The blacksmith's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
The blacksmith's like he's drunk or something, and he's like abusive.
He's just always drunk and sleeping in the corner.
Does the apprentice then kill the blacksmith and then leave? But he now has all the knowledge of the blacksmith. He knows the secret of the Lord. I mean, his Lord, not the Lord. He knows the blacksmith skills as a result of using the knife. And he has a quantity of this metal, and he's fleeing, but he's being hunted by the person that left it there. That person is able to track him down, not by questioning people who have met him, but by killing them with this sword and gaining the knowledge of where he went.
Yes, right? There we go.
And so it's like a bit of a cat and mouse on the run where, you know, even if someone even sees him, it makes them a target of this person that's following him, who is able to use the properties of the metal. But where did it come from? That's a good question. Outer space, Dan.
Well, maybe that we say that for the sequel.
Well, it could be a meteor that came down, right?
Yeah, but maybe we we could do a little bit of a flashback there. And once he comes into conflict with the person who's looking for it, he explains the backstory of how he found it and all that other stuff. But I mean, and then is that like they just have a fight and then that's it? Is that the final kind of conflict, or is there anything else to this?
So maybe like the more he takes people's minds, the more he loses his own. So by it's almost like an addiction. He wants to know and learn more and more and get more and more memories and lives, like he's collecting lives kind of thing. And by the end, his life is like lost in all of it, you know?
Yeah, that's a good bit of tragedy.
And then when he ran, like the apprentice meets this guy and sees what it becomes of it, he has to decide to destroy the metal.
Yeah,
to destroy everything in order to free himself.
Throw it into the fire.
So I think what they were going to use the metal for, I just had an idea. What if this guy, whoever he is planning or was planning to make a crown of it, so that they could gain the knowledge of like whatever the foreign king is. Like there's the young apprentice gets wrapped up in a giant court intrigue, right? And so then the guy with the sword could catch him, force him to make the thing for him that he needs, and then he's going to kill him to hide the evidence, but then we could have him escape, and like you could have that sort of that trajectory of like the little, the character that nobody ever would notice suddenly can change the course of the whole nation state. And if it's even if it's humble magic, if it's a magical realm, you could have maybe all of this is going on during the time that two of these nations are at war. that they're traveling through a war-torn, medieval battlefield. You could have this cat and mouse game going on while another larger conflict is also happening.
Look for me at Helm's Deep. Perso Theodenhal.
And he's gone again, like a wind in the grass. Storm crow.
I'm going to pull from my shelf here a small book of quotations. I'm going to randomly pick a page, and we're going to try and make this quote fit the theme of our story. Are you ready? Okay. I don't know how this is going to go. All right. Okay, these are about Dr. Freud. I'm going to switch this. Ooh. Okay, so this is a quote from Thomas A. Kempis, 1380.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. For man proposes, but God disposes. For man proposes, but God or the gods disposes.
Is that kind of one of those?
It's like
make a plan and then life.
Yeah, it's like seems like a play on that one. God, man plans and God laughs.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would apply to they can interpret that as the gods have been the ones to view the metal with the power that it has.
Oh, because it fell from the sky, the place of the gods.
Yep. And I think it's cool to have like a more like a multi deity system, much like the Norse or Greek mythology or whatever other types of not a monotheistic society. So there
it gives
gods.
them all something to fight about too.
Yeah. That always works well.
Yeah. Small-minded people fighting over religion is like, everyone will believe it because it's real.
Yeah, so that's where they interpret this as being from the gods, and they wanted to use it for their own purpose, right? Their own religious purpose. That's not how it goes. Something happens at the end to throw them all off.
So you could have a what if this is a world that has a ring around it?
Like a ring world?
Yeah. Well, no, not a ring world, but a world that has like a. I like Ring World. Don't get me. Larry Niven.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorite novels of all time.
No, what I'm saying is like Saturn's ring. Like it's a planet where you see the ring rise and set, right?
Right. Yes. Oh, that's cool.
So the idea that comets and things falling from the sky is pretty common, and every once in a while it contains this metal. Maybe people know about the metal, who are. Maybe wise people or old wizards or whatever, once in a while, one of these things falls. And so he has to go find someone who knows the real story. Which gives him something to try and get to, some person to try and find while he's being pursued, he or she.
By this other person who's looking for the metal. Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Right, and maybe the kings of these regions always have their crowns crafted of this metal, and that's how they keep continuity of their rule.
It's the king's metal,
right? Ooh, I like it because the continuity of the rule would mean that if you were king and you wore it, right, and then I'm king and I wear it, I'll know what you knew.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's good.
Right,
that works.
Being a ruler. So what they're trying to do is swap the king's crown with this new metal to drive him mad. And so that guy, maybe he is wanting to mix the sword that he's been killing all these people with, right? So that there's this jumble of different ideas all soaked into it, essentially.
Yeah.
And if he can replace it, he would drive the current ruler crazy. And that could be the overarching strategy of the shadowy figure that is at play.
So this is so funny. This is cool. This is very cool. It reminded me a little bit of the My Hero Academia movie that I just saw recently.
Have not seen it.
I know. Maybe it's just a common theme where this one guy, You guys know the premise of My Hero Academia?
No.
It's
not really, no.
It's like basically everybody has a quirk. They call it a quirk, which is basically a power of some kind. And most people in the world have that. And there's a small portion that don't. And then there's one guy who can go around and absorb other people's quirks or other people's powers.
Wasn't that
I'm
the
sure
plot?
It's been done in comic well.
That was the plot of Heroes, also, wasn't it? Hello?
Heroes as well, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Who would go he would rip it out of their brains and stuff, which is pretty gruesome. We don't have to do that. And we're not talking about powers. We're just talking about memories and thoughts, which is kind of a different thing. But yeah, that's kind of neat. But he gets so confused and he loses himself among all those other personalities, all those other. He becomes maybe schizophrenic, kind of like a thing, where he has all these different people living inside of him, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Let's bring it back to comic books. There you go.
Yeah.
This is good. So then it all comes to a head somewhere, right? They travel, different things happen.
Yeah. What's our final? So there's a crown. So the crazy dude. I guess the question is, if we're gonna have this King's Medal idea, does the apprentice have a person he can go to that he trusts that helps him, or is he or she like?
Well, maybe he goes to that person and then he takes their mind because. Why would
accidentally.
He need their advice when he can know everything they know?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's like accidental. Maybe like he goes to find the mentor.
Oh.
The mentor is like, oh, there's no time. The person with the sword comes. There's a big fight. The mentor gives him some ring, maybe, that's made of the metal. Right? No, it's a map. It's a map. It's the first. Okay, this will be volume 1 of a big quest story. Because the wise person then opens a little box and at the last second before he's going to get killed by the guy, gives the apprentice this ring to wear, which is the memory. It's like the last person that wore it took a journey. And so he has to take that same journey to find the answers that he seeks.
And then we go into the second chapter.
Cliffhanger. Whew, don't even have to resolve anything.
Perfect.
Amazing.
All right, what do we call it?
I don't know. I'll throw random titles off the books around me, and let's make something out of that. Okay.
King's Quest.
No.
King's Medal.
So, right off the shelf here, Three-Bladed Doom, Drinking Sapphire Wine, The Gods of Mars, Damnation Game, Return of the King, War of the Rats.
Return of the Rats.
Return of the Rat.
No, that's chapter 3.
Rats game. Woven. Human Antiquity.
So I was going to say, because we were talking about making earlier, we may have lost this now, but we were talking about making spoons and knives.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about Cutlet of Souls, but that's so, silverware of souls.
So if it was going to go into the current book market, I strongly feel an editor would call it the King's Medal.
Yeah.
Because metal has more than one meaning, right? It's like, it's metal, like obviously the alloy, but it's also like the stuff you're made of, right?
Oh,
if you had the King's Medal, you're good enough to be a ruler.
Mm-hmm.
And then that could be the King's Medal series, and then each book would have a separate title, more specific to what happens in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, King's Medal, Book 1, The Sword of
Souls. It's like stealing your soul.
Yeah, it's pretty well trodden, that title and path. It's more like the sword. Whoever is slapping Justin, what is happening?
Is that my? It's my computer.
Oh, that's your keyboard all this time. Oh my god.
I've been painting. I've been working this whole time.
That's your stylus tapping the screen. Oh my god. At least I hope it is.
So actually, I'm working on a piece right now that's in kind of the big giant female temple series that I've been working on. So it's this huge giant temple that's kind of rising throughout the sky, rising throughout these clouds. And the idea, the story that's kind of been forming behind this is there's a music sheet that's like this sacred, like this, it's kind of like a treasure. This music sheet that if you play it, depending on depending on your intention when you play it, it creates a storm. So if you play this music when you're angry, a hurricane will show up. If you play it when you're happy, spring showers kind of thing. So it's like this piece of music that when played summons this massive statue goddess that makes storms come. So it's kind of, I don't know, seems like it could be in the same world as our
that series
metal.
of statue paintings that you've been doing, that fits into our King's Metal world here pretty well.
It does, definitely.
Yeah. Which is an interesting thing, because when you start to make stories, the part of your brain that starts to look for patterns does reach out to the things you've already made, at least for me, and say, will this fit? Have you already done this work? This half-finished story, maybe this is where it fits.
And that's it. Like, it's half finished by itself, but now that you add it on to this new thing, suddenly together they make a better one thing.
Yeah, and so he could go to each of these places. Now we're getting somewhere. Dan, I think what really unlocked this for us, at least for me, was you using the phrase King's Metal. That's when a whole story idea and like a motivation and what it's used for and the world building related to it. And I like the idea that the King's Metal would come from a ring around the world, and that is also what would inspire them to make a crown out of it.
Maybe only the kings wouldn't go insane with this metal. Like, only a certain type of person can like take on like memories and not go crazy. And they, at some point they said, it's only kings that can do that. And they've just made everybody believe that you'll go crazy if you try it. So nobody even bothers to try because because they're not the blood of the king, they'll die.
Right. So it's a hereditary monarchy, but it's a lie. They're not actually the only ones that can do it. They're not the best at doing it.
And you know what? There's nothing existing right now that is called King's Metal. So it's open. Wait. Checking kingsmetal.com. Hold on.
All right, buy it, Dan. Buy it right now. I'm serious.
There's a machine, a UK company called King's Metal, but it's like it's available.
Buy it.
That they make fabrication stuff.
Dan, buy it right now.
Okay.
Kingsmetal.com. The three of us made a great series here. King's Metal, that'd be great. I like it.
The soundtrack can be the song Kings of Metal by Manowar.
We'll discuss that at a future creative meeting. Oh my god. Well, you see, that part was fun. For a short time, I forgot all about the world's problems, and I just wanted to know if that poor little apprentice could come out on top. Now he's stuck with a quest perilous.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Cool.
Poor guy.
I think that's the title. That's the title of our book, King's Metal, Book 1, Quest Perilous. Or maybe that's Book 2. He has the ring then. Oh shit. Okay, sort of. I'm making some notes here.
This is what you said, Justin. This is what you're working on right now?
Yeah, this is the lady.
Nice.
The temple.
Wait, how do you see that? What's happening? Are you guys really together? You're not social distancing.
No.
Has this all been a ruse?
He texted to us. Look at your phone.
Oh. I have my phone off because I'm just with you. Oh my god, that's amazing. Shit.
Thank you.
Dude, that's fantastic. Dear listener, I know this is an audio medium, but
this is terrible.
Justin's pretty good at drawing. Just gonna throw that out there. Pretty good.
The other thing is, all these clouds I did for Dragon Nanny. So I'm not just working on personal pieces for personal pieces' sake. I am working towards our next book. I just wanted to double dip on a couple of other pieces before I get right to it.
Well, and a good thing to mention if you're working digitally here for the dear listener, both Justin and I often build assets for fun pieces that we plan on using on like deadline related pieces. So like Justin's making lots of clouds. He needs them for our Dragon Nanny. He can pull those layers and use them in other illustrations. I've been making robots like crazy because Automatic Age needs robots, and so does Arena City. So the ones that look a little bit more retro go into Automatic Age. The ones that come out looking a little too cyberpunk end up in Arena City. So, you use it. It takes a certain amount of King's metal to make a book, is what I'm getting at.
All right.
All right. Well, gentlemen, I have enjoyed reconnecting with you. This has been Super Pulp Science, where we talk about how genre gets made. We worry about the future of civilization, and we make up stories anyway. I encourage you to join the fight and make comics.